Okay, boom. We should be live right now. Greetings, PT.
Yes, come on, after a long time and
Yeah,
with some
it's been a
new
little
topic.
while, but
Yeah,
we
yeah,
knew we were going to be back at one point. It's just
yes,
a matter of time. Takes
yes,
everything takes timing. That's it.
yes,
And I think it's a great timing to start talking about etymology, about
yes,
the words, about the languages. I wrote
yeah,
languages in the title because that's what it
yeah,
is. I don't think when we end up in the stars or somewhere like that we're going to use letters and stuff to talk to each other, so or to communicate.
yes.
So that's it. So there's many languages, but I think I would like you to start elaborating maybe on why we have
Okay,
languages, because a child born in nature
yeah,
has a total different perspective on life than someone who has a program in their head, because we call it program because of the grammar.
yes,
The
yes,
program is ABC 1 2 3. So all this defines after all the rest. So
yeah.
go ahead, PT, and put some
Okay,
light on this for us.
okay,
Maybe I'm sure you can.
yeah.
Yeah,
So, so the thing is the language. Like as a whole, like why is it required? What is it in the first place? First, we have to go into what it is in the first place, right? So, uh, language has two different aspects to it. Any language, okay. One is sound. Okay, you're speaking. Yeah, yeah. So whatever you're saying, that is one aspect. And second is script. Is the written form, like all these alphabets and stuff in different languages, how to write. So now we have two different things. So, so the first thing is the like let's go into script first. Okay, why all these strange like designs? Like
yeah,
why all
symbols
the
and yeah,
symbols? Like why? Like okay, now the thing is we have a structure of this universe. We are staying in this material world, and material world is like Tauruses, like Taurus. There's a toroidal structure to it. Okay, on that Taurus, there is a thing called golden ratio. This toroid is based on golden ratio. Now the golden ratio is there on it. Okay, now if you see that golden ratio from different angles on that toroid, you will see different shapes. You just seeing from this angle, this angle, this angle, this angle, this angle, this angle, just different angles. And that's how the script comes out of all languages, from the different perspective of that golden ratio spiral on the toroid. Okay, that is actually the root of when we discuss the English language. I will speak more on it, like how the English language alphabets came from the same, like Greek, whether it's Sanskrit, whether it's Latin. It does not matter what language. Every language's letters come from the actual view of this from different perspectives. So it's not just out of made up, just like that. It's not just a made up thing that somebody just made up. So it's knowledge about the structure of the universe, of the structure of this thing we are living in, which goes into this. Obviously, like when you talked about like kids who are in a jungle and stuff. I mean, they won't have that knowledge in the first place. Okay, like what is the structure? Like if somebody grows up, they don't know what is all this. You know,
exact.
yeah. So I mean, there had to be some beings which knew what all this is from a very like clear scientific point of view, like really like what everything is, and they took out these things and gave these scripts, and then comes the sound. Sounds are like whatever the human mouth can make, you know. So where the tongue goes up and it comes in the middle, it goes down. It has five ways different words are spoken from the human tongue, which are tabulated in the Sanskrit alphabet properly. It has 50 characters, Sanskrit, and all the sounds human mouth can make, and
Wow.
they are well, like, so it's like the na are all tongue in the center. P, b, b, m are all from the lips. Okay, so where the sound is made from, according to them, they are tabulated. Okay, so it's like the human mouth and what sound it can produce using the tongue and the lips. And this is basically tabulation of all the sounds. But that is what an alphabet is, which in Sanskrit is 50. you know, and that covers more than any other language on earth. This, so it is more comprehensive, and it is more logical, that why it has been done like that. Okay, so that is just first the amount of sounds human mouth can make, and now which symbol should go with which one. Then each sound carries an energy, frequency, vibration. Now they see the toroid, and they see which angle creates what energy, has to match. Just like in notes, you know like musical notes, there are thirds, like this is A is 432, B is this much, C is that much. Okay, there's frequency. Okay, so the energy of that each sound which human mouth makes, and how it relates to that world matter, and the energy fields which are around us, the science of that together is language. Okay, so it's actually a very real scientific concept. Actually, we talk about real science, not the fake science, but but the real science. It's a real understanding of why word makes the world. you know the biblical thing, word makes the world sound. Why is that sound important? So what is sound in the first place? Which is frequency and vibration. Sound is frequency and vibration. Okay, that's what is all around us. Everything which you see, every plant you see behind you, or anything, wall, everything, paper, frequency and vibration. Okay, so that is also frequency vibration, that is also frequency and vibration. So there has to be a connection.
Yeah.
So knowing of that connection and understanding of that connection, how strong that understanding is, and what do you want to achieve from that, is language. Okay, what do you want to do with that? First, the understanding of it, then how to utilize it, that knowledge. Okay, so that's how language first came into existence. Which is the oldest one, will be Sanskrit, with the most number of covering all the sounds, and then the combination of those sounds after that. So that's the first starting point for language, I would say, like so.
That's it. So the most question people have is, where is this coming from? Like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like, where does this come from? I look at it, for sure. We talk, we make all kinds of different sounds, and it seems to me that it's very divine, because there is some knowledge in there. There is
So,
something in the languages. There is a code to
yes, code.
decode. There is
Yes,
something
yes,
to decode in there.
yes, yes.
So I
Yes, now
think,
now we come to English, like ABCD is English, right? Now
yeah,
the English, the Anglish, which is Anglish, angles, different angles of approach. Now, when this language was being created, which was being created, they took, like, there was a thing called in the Europe runes. Before that, runes. There was a thing called runes, and RUNES. There were symbols, different symbols, which people, Vikings and other people used.
yeah, yeah,
Which were like each had a meaning. Each symbol meant something. Okay, in terms of, like, they used to do it for divination and stuff, like, throw this symbol comes, then you have to do this, and if this symbol comes, you have to do that. you know so those symbols, if you look at, and if you look at English alphabet, like how it is written, ABCD, you'll find a lot of similarities. Okay, now second thing was, there was a thing called tarot cards. Okay, which were symbols also. There were 21 in major arcana and 52 other cards. Okay, so 21 major cards were there in the tarot cards. Like, so when the creators of the modern English language, they took the 21 tarot cards and their symbolism and their meaning, and made 21 consonants. Okay, 21.
okay,
They said,
okay,
like, we want to have 21 consonants. After 21 consonants, they said, okay, there are other cards are 52 cards. 52 are, there are four suits in that, 13 each in the cards, playing cards, like playing cards, 13, and four suits. And four suits are the four elements: fire, air, earth, water. Okay, and there's a fifth element called ether. Okay, so they said we have to put the elements now into this 21. Okay, so they chose five elements: A, E, I, O, U. which are now called the vowels. Okay, they made five for the five elements and 21 from the tarot card, major arcana. And you have the English alphabet, 26 letters. Okay, 21 of those plus five for the five elements. Okay, that's all the English language did. I mean, for example, in Sanskrit, the vowels are many, actually. You know, like there's e, u, a, I. I mean, there are many more in number than English. Okay, they cover the full gamut of the vowel, but English doesn't, because they wanted five only to represent the five elements. They didn't want more. So they simplified it to A, E, I, O, U, just like a simplification for the five elements. And that's how that thing came in to be, like the English language. So it was created on this. So like they said, like 21 that things are there. We know the meanings of those things. A to Z. A is the first card, the magician, and Z is the world card, the final card. We know their meanings. We know what that energies mean. So we'll utilize that knowledge in creation of this language, and we'll take from other languages, Sanskrit, Latin, whatever you know is of use, and we will create a language which will, again, I told you, like, language is always for some purpose, right? You have to know that you have this knowledge. Now what purpose are you going to use it for? So this language they knew would be required for industrial revolution. It will be required for technical terms, more technical things, so that technology can come forward. That was the objective behind creation of the English language. Okay, a very clear objective. The beings which are making it, they know what they are making it for. They have the knowledge what it is. Then they are using it for creating that specific thing. And after English has come, industrial revolution has happened. Before that, it didn't happen. Okay, other languages existed before that. French, German, Sanskrit. All there are all kinds of languages before, right? Like Latin. Was any technical thing happening? No.
Yeah. No.
But when that came in, suddenly we have technical terms and technical things and technical progress, or like in the on earth you saw. So that language was necessary for using in that way, like that particular way. So language is basically, again, whatever you want to achieve. Like even programming, there are languages like C, C++, Java, all these. So depends on what kind of program do you want to make, what do you want to achieve, what is the final result you want to achieve. So accordingly you use a language or make a language. The same is the case with this language also. But you have to first know what you're doing in the first place. The core knowledge has to be there. You know. So there are beings which know this knowledge, you know, and which were there, from whom these languages have come. This is not like a joke, like which has been just made like that, just like that, like some kids are sitting around and they're just making something up. It's not like that. you know it is all conscious, and it is all as per a purpose. And different beings can have different purpose for what they want to achieve in this universe. you know and for doing that purpose they use language. Just like now I'm talking to you on that thing stream, and now there's a programs running behind which are making this happen so that this can happen. Okay. So that's their purpose of that language. you know so it is like that. So it is the same thing. So that's why they are called languages. In computer also they call them languages, they don't call them anything else, because that's what it is. And that's a fact. Like it's working on this level, and at a human speaking level, or it's working at the same level. So it's the same thing.
Yeah. When it no very good, and I like when you say they look at it from different angles, but also the word angles can be an anagram for angels, and
Yes.
angels we know what they refer to. No?
Yes, but angels are also like that, came from, like if you take a circle and you divide it into, say, like 12 parts, like So you'll have 12 30-degree angles. Okay. Now each of that sector, that arc, will be ruled by an angel. So one angel will rule this 30 degrees, another angel will rule that 30 degrees, and another angel will rule other 30 degrees, which will be your signs, like astrological signs, and each has their own angel. Like, so angle and angel will always be connected. Whenever you divide anything into arcs, there is an energy to that particular arc, and that energy will be called an angel. You know. So
You say every time we divide, there's an angel. Is
yeah.
there's a saying that said divide to conquer or something like that?
The,
But why
yeah, no,
do they?
divide and conquer. This is a different kind of division. They are talking about different kind of division.
Okay,
You know,
okay,
this is a division in a universe where, you know, there are different energies. For
yeah, they
example,
cause division a lot between
yeah,
us. That's
yeah,
it.
but like the division I'm talking about leads to making and construction. Because
Okay,
finally, if you have a tree, for example, okay, if you have to grow a tree or a plant, right? So you need sunlight, okay, sun, okay. You need soil, okay,
yeah,
and on soil also you need certain things, certain nutrients.
yeah,
So like you can consider nutrients to be certain kind of angels. Then you can consider sun to be certain kind of angel. One. Then you can have a seed, which is another that thing. And then all these different angels come together to make a plant,
to make a
to
plan.
make a plant. So here it's about construction. Okay. So for different energies come together to make something. Anything, a human body, plant, tree, anything is made up of different energies which come together, but they are separate energies. Those energies are actually separate and they can stand on their own. So, but when they come together, they create something, you know. So, like how they come together, what is their energy type, what they do in that, what is their part in the process, and all of that is another. That's what understanding of this universe is. So, the same with language. Like, what does the R sound mean? Like, R sound, what does it mean? What is this energy? What will it do if I use that sound or repeat that sound? You know, and then if I mix it with something, like, so that's what you got a word, like, you know, different energies mixed together. And what do you get? A word.
Yeah,
A word will be same as a tree then, because different energies came together and made a tree. Now you took all these alphabetical each energy and you put them together and you made a word. Now that energy has to communicate something from a core point of view. You know, so when beings know that, like people know about the tree, but they don't know about what goes into making a tree, right? Yeah.
oh no,
Yeah.
most of us look at things we have no idea how it works.
Yes.
Even the phones, the trees, the plants, everything around us is
Yeah.
so mysterious.
So that mystery is language.
Yeah,
The
but
decoding of that mystery is language at any level, at a tree level, at a mobile level, or a computer level, or any level. Okay. So only an understanding of language can give you that understanding. Like, of,
that clarity, because that's what I've been doing for a while now. I always, not under the impression, but I knew the language was the program, was the thing to decode. That's what I speak every day. But also with those letters, we come to make words now, all different kinds of words, different verbs and stuff.
mm,
But also there is good words and bad words, and there's words that are going to be there to cast a spell on you. That's why we spell words. So
yeah.
I think to decode and to see what, they say to think before you speak.
Yes. Yes.
I think
Yeah.
someone I see someone with certain knowledge, with certain enlightenment. If you can see, if I
Yes.
can notice that they think before they speak, to
Yes. Yes.
watch what kind of words they're gonna use, not to mesmerize others more
Yes.
than they are.
Yes.
So is that a
Yeah.
goal
I mean,
for us at one point?
yeah. The
To
thing is that every word will carry energy. Okay. Every word, no matter any sound, carries energy. All sound.
exactly. carries an
every
energy.
everything carries energy.
Yeah,
Every sound,
everything.
every word carries an
Yeah,
energy. So it will have
that's
some
true.
effect. Okay,
Yeah.
it will have some effect, but you have to know what that effect is exactly. Like, and the more you're knowing of that, then you can use it. If you want to create that effect, you create that. If you don't. You know that you are in control and in charge, but you're not in charge unless you know what that means or what that you know. So, like, that's why, like, education in ancient times, like Vedic times, I would say, like ancient times, was in language was about understanding language at a basic core level. Okay, I mean, which obviously is not taught in schools right now. You know that kind of knowledge about core sounds, energies, meanings. That's why all these things are more like tarot cards. Also, it's all in the realm of occult, runes, anything, basic Sanskrit alphabet. You know what it means. Even places where Sanskrit has been taught, they will never know what the basic sounds mean. Each sound, yeah, and
So,
what its energy is.
so
So
would you say that it's something esoteric? I think en français, we use that word. It's esoteric, so the study of the languages, because it
yeah,
comes from, you said, the tarot, all kinds of
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
in the past.
Yeah.
So to study this would be, yeah, part of.
Yeah, so it's like study of the universe. It's like study of structuring, finding out what how all this is built, what is all this around us. Like it's the core study of actually what is around us, the structure of everything around us, which is a language. Okay, which is
It's
that's
a
what we
lot
call.
to digest, even for me. I'm sure for everyone that
Yeah.
watches that too. That's why I listen to you very well, because
Land
you give
gauge.
a
You
lot.
said you called it land gauge. Now land, Earth is has land, right? Earth has
Yeah,
land. Now land has all land has different frequency and vibration. All land is not the same. In some places, land some things grow, some things don't grow, something happens, something doesn't happen. So land has different energy and vibration all across the earth. Okay, and there is a gauge for that as well. Why that is so? So if you take a piece of land, it also has its own sound and energy signature. So which language can tell and sort of, let's say, give, you know, in a human, like, sonic form. Like, you look at land, you can't tell what the sound of that land is, but a mantra can be created which humans can speak from their own mouth, and a sound which will depict the exact energy of that land. So it will map the land.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you have to understand, like, it is because otherwise, just by seeing, we're not getting something just by seeing, but there is a sonic signature of it, which we can only get through speech, right? So there is a that thing to it, and that's when you can change it. For example, if energy of land is a certain way, okay, and some being sits out there and does a different kind of energy chant in that land for a long time, the energy of the land, that land will change as per the sound of that being, what that being is making in that land.
Yeah,
So so you're able to affect nature and land, anything, via sound. Now,
yeah.
where did you get that sound from? About from language. And understanding this sound was going to make this kind of change, basically. So, if you can do that to a land, to a tree, to air, then you can do that to yourself too, right?
True.
Like, if you can do that to all these things, then you can do that to that as well. Like, so,
So
yeah.
if the sound is of a primordial importance here, of course, in the words, because that's what we make sounds. We don't spit out the words. We just make sounds.
Sound, yes.
So that's it. So if you took the word education, just that, there's so many like just the shun at the end. A shun could be shun also in the
Yes.
English language. So all these words sound the same, like education. If I say that, me, I see it as education, especially today with the shun. So should we like start building a complete new uh, English language, or we should
Yeah, I
just
mean,
like
just trying to understand it. I mean, everything is there. For example, you said the word education, so I'll just say something on it because it's E first, right? E is energy. Okay,
use energy? It's
D
the
is cup.
fifth letter too.
Yeah, D is cup. Cup. It's a cup. Okay. So U, U means you C. So energy in the cup, you see, there's energy in a cup, and you have to see what that energy is. If you know what that energy is, you are educated. If you don't know what that energy is, you're not. Okay,
It's a
learning.
shun shun, but if you are, it could be
Yeah,
ion. Ion is energy. Is
yeah,
a
yeah. I'm on it. I'm onto it. Say I say I'm onto it. I'm on it. Like,
yes.
I know what that energy is. I can see that. I can see that energy in that cup. What that is. That means you are getting some education. Otherwise, you are not. You know.
Okay.
So like like I mean the whole meaning is there, but for that you have to understand certain things, and you have to see the whole. You have to view the whole world in a different way, completely.
So we need to decode the sound.
Yes,
That's what it is.
yes.
Decoding the sound.
They couldn't sound, and that's where, like, because these languages have not come from humans, even Sanskrit and all of that. They're coming from beings which are on higher levels, which can create things like Earth. They have given those things, that knowledge. It's not like there's some people were sitting around in a village and they started.
I doubt that it's how it happened. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure it comes from
yeah. Or
certainly higher level, especially
so
with
so that's and there is speech of various kinds. But when you were talking about like that, we will do in another that thing. Like what happens in Highlands? Do we need language there? Yeah, their language is there, but of a different kind. So in Sanskrit there are different kinds of speech, like Vakhari, Madhyama, Pashyanti, like which in higher level different kind of speech is used. There's human speech out here which we do with our mouth. So in subtle levels there are different kinds of speeches and different kind of languages. This concept still carries on. It's not just for Earth or humans. you know Wherever there is structure, wherever there's energy, there will be a language of that energy, even at subtle levels. Yes.
and also
Yeah.
animals have their own languages. Now,
Language.
how do we go about, like, often I'm trying to catch how the thought process happen into my dog, for example. I'm
Yeah.
trying to see how they think, how they process things, because they don't have those
Because they
letters
have
and stuff.
sounds. They have sounds, right? And for
They have
example,
sounds, yeah.
sounds, whale sounds and stuff keep the energetic grid around the Earth in that thing. They do take out these frequencies. Whales amongst each other would travel in the oceans for thousands of miles, which they have recorded that they go that long. So they create a massage envelope for the whole Earth to keep Earth in balance. Those sounds. So they're doing a function of a very high kind, like which you don't understand because you don't understand
No,
energy, frequency, vibration.
exactly.
Yeah. So
And
so
even sometime I go take a walk and I pass the same dog pretty much every day, and he's barking at us, but I can tell it's a friendly bark
yeah,
because my dog doesn't react at all.
yeah,
So I'm like, oh, he must be barking something friendly to her.
yeah, yeah. So like that will be energy, like but
Like,
whether you can, yeah, like the dogs will understand what that energy is because they can decode that particular sound. So they have that knowledge decoding software of that particular sounds. Okay. So that's exactly the point. So like when any language is taught to understand the sounds, right now people can decode tones. Like if somebody's speaking to you in an angry tone, they can tell, oh, this is angry tone, this is that thing tone, or this kind of, people can tell all of that, whether it's friendly, angry, whatever it is. That's the tone and stuff which gives that away. But there is more to it than that. You know, of understanding sound at a more basic core level and the energy and the meaning of it.
And also there's something with human because we're capable of mimicking sounds of animals, but animals cannot mimic our sound. They cannot speak. My dog will not speak,
Yeah, except
but
some
I
birds.
can
Like
bark.
yeah, it's like parrots can, or some birds. There is a
Yeah.
bird.
Oh,
Some
there's
birds,
birds that speak.
but some birds, parrots, and some other birds which can lie, but they
Yeah.
can that thing, mimic human sounds. Not exactly, but in their own way. Like they'll because they have not been given the facility what a human mouth has been given a particular kind of facility with the tongue. We have been created in this kind of way to be able to produce those kind of sounds. You know, our this machine has been built in that
Yeah.
way, so that's why that's what we have different from animals. That's why human birth is considered a different birth from just animal. So human is just not considered an animal in that way.
Because we can articulate.
And our tongue has given us different sounds which we can use like as a whole, articulate, and we can use certain sounds which like animals cannot. So they are limited in that way more than us in that kind of. So
Wow.
so
So yeah, that's good. So PT, that will be it for today. That was a good introduction to our new series. Also, next we'll go deeper. Like I have a whole bunch of notes here. I would like to look at the countries' names, medicine, plants, planet, all the con in the words,
yes,
the fruit, the veggies, the cities, the animals, food, chemicals, science. Like I'm gonna bring a whole bunch of like the most known word in those
yeah,
area,
yeah,
and I
just
would like
like
us to
certain examples, whatever, we'll go by certain examples, and then people can
yeah.
decipher the more from that. Like,
So we decode the sound together. That's it,
yeah,
because it's the sound that has
yeah,
to be
like as we
decoded.
started with education, like today. So
Yeah, even I wrote a book back then, and it's finished. It's just not published, but I even did a de-spell of the word. Like it's crazy. I went at it. Like I would like that to review that with
yes,
you
yes,
also.
yes, yes, yes.
So yeah, so we're gonna have a lot. So large up, PT, again, and gratitude for you coming here again, and everyone watching live. Boom, we're out.